Hello, Abraxas here, and I'm going to be playing some Space Engine. So, it's been a little bit. I was supposed to make a recording yesterday, and the day before, and then I pushed it off to today. I mentioned it in a live stream, and I did a live stream, and then I pushed it off till now, which is late at night, so I'm sorry. I wouldn't say I'm lazy, but I've been busy, and yeah, I've just not been too motivated to actually record one of these, I must say. But, yeah, it's been a busy week for me. Hit 2,000 subscribers, so that is awesome. What is this really bright star right here? Let's go blue bright giant. Well, as I was saying, yeah, it's been a busy week for me. I've actually had 2 live streams this week. Do not expect those to be regular. It's just something I was just messing around with, really. They were fun. I'm obviously not very good at live streaming. I'm not a very captivated person when it comes to that, but for the most part, it went pretty well. I don't think there's really any flaws. It was pretty fun. The first live stream I did was me catching up in Dead Space. I do have a recording of that live stream on channel right now. You can actually go and watch that. It's just me playing through Dead Space again from the beginning to the second chapter, I guess. And I do hope to continue that series and hopefully be done with that game finally, because it has been a while. I have not been producing videos on that. It's been hectic. I pushed out a video today. It did not get a lot of views, probably because I used the exact same thumbnail as one from yesterday, but with a part 2, so I don't think people noticed that it was a new video, and well, that was kind of unfortunate, but what could you do? So yeah, I have some things to do. Like I said, I do plan to pick up on my editing a little bit more. I do plan to edit my videos a little bit more, not too much more. Don't expect jump cuts and professional editing, or me cutting out the parts where I make mistakes and stuff like that. That's just not gonna happen. That's my style of videos. I like it when it seems like I'm more... Oh, this is actually a cataloged cluster? It's kind of cool. As I was saying, I like the kind of interaction feeling I get when I make these videos. I think of it kind of like a live stream when I make Universe Sandbox 2 videos, because... well, really, I'm just trying things. I just try your guys' suggestions, and I leave in them, like, what I discover, what mistakes I make, and sometimes you guys could even correct them and kind of help me with that, so it's really cool. In a globular cluster, not the center of the Milky Way galaxy, but I imagine it is a pretty big black hole, considering there's like thousands upon thousands of stars orbiting around it. But what else do I really have to say? Not really too much more, other than really I'm just working on things, so really just that. I'm trying to improve on some things. I'm going to probably order a sound card later this month, so I can get rid of that popping sound at the end of my push-to-talk key, which is kind of interesting because I already have this sound card that I bought for this microphone to get rid of the annoying background noise, but now it has the side effect of the amp is a little bit too weak, so the microphone sounds very quiet for some reason. So I have to go through and like bump up the audio in all of my videos, and then re-render them, and that's always... oh man, rendering videos, that's my favorite part of making videos for sure. But yeah, little things like that I want to improve on, so yeah. Luckily I do make a little bit of money off YouTube, so it does help pay for little stuff like that. Just Carina Nebula. And yeah, for the most part, I don't really have too much to ramble on about, so I'm just going to get started with suggestions. Looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 suggestions from Jordan Taylor, so I'm only going to visit the first 2. For the record, Jordan Taylor, not to be offensive or anything like that, but in these Space Engine videos, this is also noteworthy for everyone, is I only do 2 suggestions max per person, so just figured I'd mention that. And I only do suggestions on these videos that are posted on the latest Space Engine video. So the one I'm recording right now, it's going to be the one before that. You post your suggestions there. If you want suggestions in the next video after this one, you post the suggestions in the comments of this one. So pretty simple. You start spamming my Universe Inbox 2 videos, it's not going to be seen. So just that's not directed towards you, Jordan Taylor. It's kind of just generally everybody, because I'm getting a lot of suggestions on my Universe Inbox 2 videos. I'm not going to see those. When I bring up my list of suggestions, I literally just filter the comments to my Space Engine videos. So let's go ahead and go to Gliese 436. Okay, so it is a red dwarf. I'm not seeing any large planets immediately around it, but there certainly is one. Let's go check it out. It is a hot ice giant. I guess I was right next to it. It was discovered in 2004. It has a temperature of 168 degrees. It does appear to be tidally locked with its parent star. Well, I mean, it's so close to it. And what else is really noteworthy about this? It was discovered by transit. So transit is, I believe, the dimming of that star. So it was this planet crossing paths with the star like that, just kind of dimming its glow. As you can see, it kind of happens right there. So that is probably how we discovered this planet. Very cool. The next suggestion, once again, is from Jordan Taylor, and it is HAT P11b. Let's go ahead and see if that works, and there it is right there. Also known as, no, the parent is Kepler 3. Okay. So yeah, this is actually known as Kepler 3b. Be a transit, so once again, the dimming of that star right there. In 2009 it looks like, and has a temperature of 360 degrees. It is a hot gas giant, or ice giant. Which are essentially the same thing, just different compositions. Very cool. And actually does have a pretty detailed cloud layer, as you can see there. Nice, and we're kind of in its like upper atmosphere, which is really cool too. You can see how like bumpy these clouds are. Very nice. So let's see. Man, there's not a lot of suggestions. Okay, there's one. I'm like, I got so many comments that are actually like not suggestions, which is actually pretty unusual for these videos. Normally it's just like suggestion comments. Okay, so this suggestion is from Mr. Star Wars, and he says it is a cool Terra with snow, and there is a nice view of a galaxy. Let's go ahead and check it out. But first get rid of that question mark. And here we go. Okay, so it looks like we have a snowy Terra with life. The temperature is negative 34 degrees, so a very, very cold planet. That's the average surface temperature. You can imagine how cold those poles are. Carbon dioxide, oxygen, and sulfur dioxide. Let's go ahead and land and check out some of these pretty views and the life on this planet. You may have noticed I've actually started rendering my Space Engine videos in 60 FPS again. Oh, that was short-lived. The 30 FPS thing. Yeah, I started doing that, and we got some beautiful life on this planet. We got like the kind of satellite tree texture, and what I could only assume is some kind of forest. Very, very dense, like jungle or something like that. Very cool. Yeah, the 30 FPS thing, which is kind of short-lived. I started rendering these back in 60 FPS, mainly because the way I'm doing it now is I'm kind of just recording these like at night or when I'm planning on going somewhere or doing something, so I just leave it rendering while I'm gone. I'll upload it. Pretty straightforward. Beautiful planet. Got these lovely, really nicely eroded mountains. Looks really cool. The snow on it, absolutely beautiful. I wonder if we can get a nice kind of screenshot kind of thing going on here. Like there's some beautiful snowy mountains. There's a star up there. I really like that view. That was a really nice view. Got the cloud layer and all that. And that is some really shiny snow. But really cool planet. Let's go ahead and zoom out here. Wow, okay. Lagging pretty hard for some reason. Let's see. It has a diameter of 13,000 kilometers, so it's a little bit bigger than Earth. ESI should be pretty high. It's only 86% apparently. Atmospheric pressure is even like pretty much 1-to-1 with Earth, a little bit more dense. That's kind of weird. You would think... I guess it's the surface temperature or the distances. Oh. I forgot about that nice view of the galaxy. Wow. I think it has to do with like the distance to the star or something like that. But damn, that is a really cool view of the galaxy. So is this like... Yeah, this has to be like some kind of galactic collision or something like that. That is really awesome. And it does actually have a faint ring right here. You can kind of see it. Wow, that is a nice view. Let's go ahead and zoom out and check out this collision, or whatever's going on here. Yeah, I can only assume that is a galactic collision. Are these cataloged? These are cataloged. Okay, that makes sense. Very nice. The next suggestion is from Omega Raven Life, and he wants me to go to the Sagittarius A star. Let's go over to Sagittarius A. Whoops. I've been here many times. In fact, I pretty much go here every video, just out of, like, while I'm rambling. But here is the central black hole in the center of the Milky Way galaxy. And what is that shining back there? What is this? What are you? Who said you could be there? That's not what I clicked on. Dang gravitational lensing. Fooled me again. Okay, the cluster's right here. There was something right next to the black hole. You can see it. It's that second lens flare right there. What are you? You are a white main sequence star. I doubt you have planets orbiting around you because you are the star orbiting around the central black hole. But you are orbiting very, very dangerously close to that black hole. You know, I would say you would get shredded considering you are right next to its accretion disk. If you're next to that accretion disk, you're pretty much at the Roche limit. You should be shredded apart and not actually be there. Oh, but maybe so. It's apparently a catalog star? That's a bit weird. I don't even think we can observe this black hole. How do we know there's a star here? What is S102? Okay, that strikes me as very odd. Let's track it. Let's just speed up time and watch what it does. Oh, it's just orbiting very, very, very close to Sagittarius A. Why have I never noticed a star here? I'd imagine that thing would be shredded up if it was that close. That's a bit confusing. Okay, let's stop the dizziness. It's a very eccentric orbit, it looks like, too. Oh, it comes very, very close to that black hole. Look at that. That is so weird to me. Well, I think I'm rightfully confused. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Pause time, select something else. Okay, so the next suggestion is from... Let's see. That is a Universe Sandbox 2 suggestion and a Space Engine video again. If that happens, I'm probably not going to see it. I'm probably going to ignore it and etc. Post suggestions on the right video. That's all I'm really asking. It's I wouldn't say that's too much to ask. Ah yes, Sebi Trains, or is it Sebi? I don't know. He suggests NGC 6050b. Let's go ahead and check that out. Here we go. It is SBC, so spiral. Oh, three-way galactic collision. That's pretty cool, and I've never seen this galaxy texture before, I have to say. Never seen that before. But that's a pretty cool looking collision between like two kind of spiral galaxies. Has some very long arms. This one's very distorted. That looks like a standard galaxy texture, and this thing is just kind of a blob. You can see the central black hole right there. If I double tap G, I should be able to go directly to the center black hole. Spooky. Over there, we should be able to see the central black hole of this galaxy pretty easily. Yep, there it is. The 6050A. If I hold control and double tap G, it'll fly me straight to the center black hole. This one should be much bigger than the one we just saw, considering it's a much bigger galaxy. Pretty nice, and it has a really, really lovely view of these collisions. Very nice. Is that actually 4 collisions? Which is a very, very compact cluster, isn't it? That's a 4th galaxy. Probably inevitably going to collide with those 3. Oh, that is very cool. Really nice suggestion. And move on to the next one, which is from Gabriel the Hun, and it is a random planet it looks like. Let's go ahead and check it out. Then on the way there, I'll go ahead and read the description that he put. It is a binary solar system. It has 3 interesting places to visit. The A star has 2 Terras with multicellular life. One of them is a moon of a gas giant. Okay. Let's bring up that map right there. Okay, so we have this warm Terra with life right here. Nitrogen's carbon dioxide and oxygen, it looks like. A kind of water world. It does have a large supercontinent on it, but definitely a really, really big ocean. The B star, 6th planet, is an ice world. It has a warm Oceania as a moon. The system itself is in the galaxy NGC 4676. Okay, so we have this warm Terra with life, just a white atmosphere. There is the parenting star, very, very bright and large in the sky. Life is orange on this planet. Really, really sandy. I can only assume this is a pretty warm planet. It kind of looks like it. The temperature is, yeah, correct, 114 degrees Celsius, so a very, very hot planet. And as you can see, it's using the grass texture, but it's using like kind of an orange color. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is this world right here, which is a temperate Terra with a life. It is a moon, and look at that galaxy over there. Here again in a galactic collision. Pretty cool. So this one's kind of the opposite. It does have a supercontinent, it looks like. Majority of this planet is landmass rather than ocean. Looks like it has a pretty thin atmosphere in comparison. It doesn't look very saturated. And I can kind of see the green color of the life very clearly from here. The atmospheric composition is 0.134 atmospheres of pressure. So roughly 13% atmospheric pressure of Earth. The mountains are nicely eroded, it looks like, so pretty cool, common with Terras. And here we go, flying through the atmospheric layer, which kind of has like a goldish bronze color, I would say, kind of a copper color actually. And as you see, these hills are really nicely eroded. They look really cool, they generated very well. We got some kind of life texture going on here. Looks like some kind of grass. And it looks like the satellite tree texture right there. Very cool, and as you can see, there is our very commonly seen sedimentary rock cliff texture. And you can see the terrain kind of generate and get more detailed as we get closer to it as well. This mountain I can only assume is very tall, so let's go to the lower atmosphere. below this very low-lying cloud layer. Look at this cloud layer. Imagine if you were standing here, it'd just be very, very foggy. And there's the parenting gas giant. Looks very cool in the sky, and there's our parenting star. Very nice. Now if we back out here, he said the B star has an Oceania. Was the Oceania a moon? I think he said ice world. Ah, there we go. So an ice world with an Oceania as a moon. That's a little bit contrast, I would say. No, it's 50 degrees. I can only assume the greenhouse gases produced by the water on this world, or whatever liquid is there, is what's actually heating it up. 50 degrees Celsius, and this is an ice world of negative 112 degrees Celsius. So yeah, I can only assume this is being heated up by greenhouse effects. Very nice, and they are a binary system. No, that is actually a moon, I would say. Let's check. Yeah, that's a moon. Just a water moon. Very cool, and there is the parenting star, which is a red dwarf. So if we zoom out here, we might be able to get a good glimpse at this galactic collision. Oh yeah, that looks very nice. You see like the arms of that galaxy just spanned out very far out there. Okay, so PCCTS Knights Templar wants me to visit the galaxy Messier 87, or as Gabriel the Hun has corrected him or her, M87 apparently is what it's cataloged as in the game. So let's go ahead and try to visit that. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so it is an elliptical type galaxy, E0, so it's pretty round. And as you can see, there's billions and billions and billions of very, very old stars in this galaxy. Very nice, and here we go, we're flying towards the central black hole, which can only be somewhere in here. Maybe this? What are you? You're not the black hole. The black hole should be like right over here. Are you the black hole? You're the black hole. Good guess. I'm apparently inside of it. Ah, there it is. The massive black hole in this galaxy. And you can see in the background, they're kind of popping in. There's another elliptical type galaxy. There's a spiral galaxy down here, off in that direction. And there's an elliptical galaxy, like I mentioned. In this direction, something else popped in. There's another elliptical galaxy. So this is a pretty dense galactic cluster, it looks like. If we zoom out, we should be able to see these galaxies a little bit better. Oh yeah, look at that. It's actually a very, very dense galactic cluster. So let's go ahead and check out the next suggestion, which is from Derpsauce Gaming. And he asked me to visit... Oh. Sorry, I was kind of like half reading his comment. He wants me to visit a planet that has a... and its moon. Oh wait. Okay. He wants me to go to this suggestion and its moon, and the planet itself psi of 88%. Not... oh. Okay. Well... I will be right back. The game just crashed. Okay, so I am back. Let's go ahead and check out Derpsauce Gaming's suggestion. So let's see if we can go there without the game just immediately crashing. So it looks like we're kind of scraping the edge of a globular cluster, it looks like. Well, look at that galactic cluster right there. Or galactic collision. Is this the same one we were at earlier? No, it's definitely not. We're in a cluster that's sitting outside of a galactic collision. Very cool view. Is my field of view? No, I'm just very close to these worlds. Okay, so that's just, I don't think that's a moon. Is that a moon? That's no moon. Nah, it is moon. Okay. So it looks like we have a Terra here. Apparently this is a Terra. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of water, but it looks like it's primarily landmass. Interesting. The temperature is 15 degrees. It has an ESI of 96%. Interesting. You said 88%, but apparently this is 96. That's a bit odd. And it seems to have a little bit of an acne problem, as you can see here. Or some type of pretty bad psoriasis, I can't really tell. But it has like these weird bumpy mountains that are all over the surface of this world, so... Interesting. Dome mountains form mostly by plate tectonics anyways. For a planet that doesn't really have a lot of water, that's kind of interesting. What would that mean? Lines? Not really too sure. There is definitely volcanic activity, as proven by that volcano over there. I am no geologist though, so I cannot really make any good assumptions on that. Looks like we have the kind of satellite tree texture. Looks like it was ripped right out of Google Maps. And it looks like just kind of a different one. And again, very, very bumpy hills. Very, very orange atmosphere as well. The composition is CO2, nitrogen, and oxygen. A lot more CO2 than oxygen and nitrogen. And argon is not one of the primary compounds in the atmosphere. So not too Earth-like in the composition. It's all definitely things that we do have in our atmosphere. Very cool world. Do we get a nice view of that galactic collision? I can see the moon. That moon is huge in the sky. Galactic collision's probably on the other side. Ah yes, we're gonna have to go to the night sky. Fortunately, it is illuminated by a very, very bright moon. So yeah, we have a really, really cool view of this galactic collision. Not too many stars in the sky, only because, well, we're really only seeing this galactic cluster. But very nice. Let's go ahead and kind of fly through these galaxies real quick. I think I see a third galaxy back there. Yeah, there certainly is. It's pretty far out there, though. Or it's just pretty small. Very cool. Yep, it's a two-way galactic collision. That one's just kind of cutting through it like a saw blade. Very cool. The next suggestion is again from Derp Gaming. And he says, it is a Terra with life in a galactic collision and ESI of 92%. Oh, wait. Apparently there was a double sunset on that planet we were just at. We're gonna have to go back over there real quick. I didn't read the rest of the comment, I'd only read like shortly after it. Let me get that previous ID and head back over there. He asked to check out the double sunset on that planet, so let's go ahead and check that out. Oh yeah, there is two suns. Let's just touch down right here. We're gonna see double sunrise. Okay, so there's the galaxies. Let's go ahead and increase our field of view. Just gonna make that moon look very distorty. There's one sunrise. And there's the other, as the galactic, or that globular cluster just kind of fades out in the sky. And there's a bunch of clouds passing over. Very cool. And on this side, we should be able to see the beautiful sunset. Go ahead and slow down time just a little bit as they approach. Oh, that's kind of cool. You can see them kind of orbiting each other. You can see them like, that one was way off to that side, but it's slowly drifting over there. So they're actually spinning a little bit. Very cool. And there's one that just set, and here comes the other. And then we have that very bright moon, and then we could just see these galaxies kind of fade in as the sky gets dark. Very awesome. So let's just reset our field of view, pause time, and check out these next suggestions from Derp Gaming. So as I said, Terra with a ESI of 92%. Let's go ahead and head over there. It is a temperature with life. Temperature of negative 22 degrees Celsius. It looks like it has some nice polar caps. Very large ones, in fact. Very, very pronounced cloud layer, I guess I would say. There's a huge crater impact over there towards the top of the planet, or towards the top of the screen, I guess. And the ESI is, in fact, 92%. The composition is CO2 and oxygen in the atmosphere. Atmospheric pressure is 65% of that of Earth. The diameter is actually a little bit smaller than Earth. But as you can see, it's a very, very colorful, very cool looking world. Looks a lot like our Earth, but has some pretty crazy clouds going on. There's a huge hurricane. So let's go ahead and zoom in here. Got a nice shine going on with the river. What's up with this green growing at the edge of the river here? Why is it so bright? Okay, it looks like we have some sand. Blue water. Neon bright green that does not look like any of the other green on the planet. That's a little bit odd. Texture here, once again, is kind of, yep, it is the top-down view of some treetops. Looks like a pine forest or something. And we've got some cool colors going on. Kind of a nice faded orange. I imagine if I turn on real planet brightness, this is going to be much dimmer than it actually is. Oh, actually didn't make a... So let's go ahead and just fly around for a minute. Looks like we have those rounded hills again, but this time not nearly as pronounced or frequently, I guess. You can see a lot of the arms of the hurricane just kind of passing over us here. We're not quite in the hurricane, but there's some remnants of it just kind of spinning around. Ah yes, we have some snowy hills here, kind of pointy, a little bit of erosion going on. Very nice looking. Let's go and fly out of the cloud layer here. Yeah, as soon as we get out of the cloud layer, the atmosphere is so short, I guess you would say, that the second you get above the cloud layer, it's just night sky pretty much. And there's that huge impact from some type of very, very nasty collision. It kicked up a bunch of terrain right here. And yeah, I can only imagine this gets very, very deep. Current depth is negative 11 kilometers from sea level, so yeah, that's a very nasty impact. But I'm not really seeing any more suggestions beyond this one. Let me just scroll through here. Yeah, I got a show more button, but that's pretty much all the suggestions for the video, and we're only at like 33 minutes in. So this might just be a short video. I'm gonna load up the video real quick and check it out. I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back, and no, that was in fact a bug with the way I was viewing the comments, so thankfully I did check. We have a lot more suggestions to go, actually. So the next suggestion is from Andromeda, which I knew he commented. I was thinking it was weird that I have not visited his suggestion yet. That's what kind of tipped me off, so let's go and check out this one from Andromeda. As always, from him, no description. So it is a hot desert orbiting around a very, very pink gas giant with another very, very pink moon. Let's go ahead and just check out this desert real quick. So the desert has a temperature of 161 degrees Celsius. The composition in the atmosphere is carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, which is not really very prominent because, well, there's actually very, very little atmosphere on this desert. So it's seemingly pretty visible. It has a very, very bright dying star over in its sky. In fact, actually, no. That is a Zirconium star, which are fairly rare. And we have this beautiful view of what looks like an elliptical galaxy colliding in with a spiral galaxy. The Zirconium star is putting off a beautiful kind of radiant glow. Then we have this here. What is this? A blue subgiant. The Zirconium star has a mass of 300, which is the max solar masses. It has a diameter of 36 astronomical units. So this star here is bigger than our solar system. Well, not bigger than our solar system, but it's greater than the distance between Sun and Pluto by about 7 astronomical units. And for reference, for people who do not know, which I assume pretty much most of you know, astronomical units is the distance between the Sun and Earth. So yeah, that's a very, very big star. There. Kind of have to look around a little bit because just visiting the planet is not giving you the full experience. And if we hit play, we could watch the kind of solar winds just fly through this system. This effect. Very cool. Let's go ahead and check out the next suggestion from Andromeda. Let's get rid of that question mark. And here we go. Okay. Things are going a little bit too quick. Pause. Okay. So we are at a tidally locked cool desert. How is this a cool desert and tidally locked? It must be pretty far from its star. That's a bit odd. And it's got a beautiful, beautiful pink color. It must have a... Nope, there's a second star illuminating the backside of it, so it doesn't really even have a night sky. During certain portions of the year, I'm sure there's a night sky right there. This is very cool looking. This one is definitely getting a bookmark for sure. Yeah, this is a really, really awesome looking desert, and we're in some kind of nebula. I don't know if it's just a planetary nova or if it's a supernova, but it's very beautiful nonetheless. Very cool. That looks like a supernova, to be honest. No, it's diffuse. Well, very cool looking nonetheless. There's an elliptical galaxy over there in the background. And no, that's just the natural galaxy, the way that looks. Colliding in with an elliptical galaxy as well. Okay. So there's an elliptical galaxy in the center of this ring galaxy, it looks like. Nah, that might just be a spiral galaxy. Very cool. Let's go back to that planet. That was a very beautiful view. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead and just touch down on this and see what it looks like. We'll stop right here next to these mountains at the pole. Well, I guess not really pole, but the area where it's frozen because, well, that star is illuminating it from right there. And let's just hit play and see what this looks like. That is so weird looking. A very, very awesome planet to make a 360 video on, so... I have to say, look forward to that. Very cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Cubcat. And according to Gabriel the Hunt, it's not working. Let's go ahead and pause time. Because if I leave time running and visit next suggestions, that's bad news typically. So yeah, that's not working, unfortunately. Sorry about that, Cubcat. Let's see. We have 2 more suggestions from Jack Morgan 101. And he says the first one is a warm desert orbiting a gas giant. Not that interesting on the ground, but it has some very cool views. Let's go ahead and check it out. That was really cool, just zooming out of that galaxy. We like flew through the nebula and all that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we have a planet, a large gas giant here that almost looks like Uranus. Compared to this terrestrial world, yeah, it's a pretty small gas giant, so it's kind of like a, yeah, that's a very similar kind of gas giant to Uranus, actually. So let's go ahead and touch down here. This is a moon with a bunch of nasty things in its atmosphere that you probably would not want to breathe. The temperature is 110 degrees Celsius, greenhouse effect of 5 degrees. The atmosphere is actually 2% of that of Earth. It's actually rather thin. There's not much pressure here. But the compositions are pretty nasty. Has an ESI of 64%. I wasn't really expecting a very high ESI value. But, very cool. And the parenting stars are just dots, apparently. Don't know what's going on with that. There we go, now you can actually properly see them. And yeah, pretty cool. So he said this has interesting views. Are we... The galaxy, is it? I don't think so. What's that? Random nebula. Yeah, this is a random galaxy. Okay, so... Yeah, that did not really look like the Milky Way galaxy. That looks like Andromeda, though. That's not Andromeda. I think that is using Andromeda's texture, though. I'm pretty sure that's using Andromeda's texture over there. Is that the Milky Way? No, that looks a lot like Andromeda. Okay, well, let's go back to that planet and see if we can spot some awesome views. Okay. So, over here we have it nice and illuminated because the gas giant is illuminating the night sky. Let's see if we can get a view of that Andromeda knockoff galaxy from the darker portion of this planet. Since the atmosphere is rather thin. Oh yeah, we can definitely see that very clearly. Very cool. It's like kind of the, not really moonrise, but more like the host planet rise, I guess. Very cool, and you can see like the galaxy that we're actually within right now. And the dark sky actually gives this gas giant a really cool, like, hot pink appearance. Very nice. Very cool, and very bright auroras. Is from the same person, Jack Morgan 101, and he says it's a temperate Terra, which, much like the desert, isn't that cool on the ground. But if you look around, you can get an amazing views of different galaxies. Out. Okay, we have some kind of star here. A red giant. Very unstable, dying star. Is that the atmosphere? Oh no, I must have just swam or like went underwater. Okay, so we have a view of a moon, that dying star there. The mood is kind of set with this ambience we got going on here. Looks like it's just about to explode in some planetary nova or something like that. But we're in an elliptical galaxy. You can kind of see the central cluster where the black hole is kind of homed. And I'm not really seeing any other galaxies yet. Oh. Well. You know. How do you miss that? I had to squint a little bit to see it, you know, but yeah. Okay, so I see the other galaxy here. I think this is just gonna be like, I mean, I've done it before, but this is kind of like another galactic collision special at this point. Looks like we have a three-way galactic collision here. I can only assume these galaxies are cataloged, which they certainly are. Two elliptical galaxies just kind of colliding into a ring galaxy, I guess. Really cool. Let's go ahead and check out this next suggestion from EN07 because, well, this is actually going to be very interesting. Okay, so I think we have the new quote-unquote Big Bertha here from EN07. Let's go ahead and check it out. It is a red supergiant. He says, I just broke Plazasta's record of the biggest star found. My star has a radius / diameter of 17,937. Sun's Plazasta star was 17,933. So this has a diameter of 1.66.90 astronomical units. Very beautiful view of that galaxy. This is apparently the biggest star found in SpaceEngine so far, that I'm aware of. Somebody else might have found one that's bigger. I've searched around on forums and stuff, and yeah, I think this might actually be breaking some records here. Very cool. Obviously a star this big is impossible, the density is just way too low. Very big star. And there's even things orbiting around it. Let's go ahead and check out one of these planets. A red scorched desert. Pretty understandable being next to that giant thing. Here's one that's way closer, with a lot of little moons. And again, a scorched desert. That is a crazy view, I'd have to say. I'm going to bookmark this, and that means I do actually have to post this video in the Big Bertha playlist that I have on my channel. If you guys haven't seen that, it is basically a playlist where we go and visit the biggest stars, pretty much. Go and, like, basically we just try to find the biggest stars. So yeah, this is really cool. Very nice. So yeah, this is apparently breaking the previous record that's on my channel. What I find kind of shocking is there's not actually a black hole orbiting around it. Normally that's pretty common. Here's a scorched ice giant sitting at 590 degrees, and it's orbiting on its side just like Uranus. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which actually, I think that is the last suggestion, so I think we're ending this with the new Big Bertha of the series. Very nice. Anyways, be a thumbnail contender right there. Look at that. Anyways, if you guys like the video, please leave it a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe. It really does help. And I will see you guys in the next one.